On October 4, 1970, the world lost Janis Lyn Joplin, a fiery singer whose raw voice and rebellious spirit became synonymous with 1960s rock and counterculture. At just 27 years old, Joplin's death cemented her as one of the earliest members of the notorious 27 Club, a tragic list of musical icons who died at the same age. Yet her influence, audacity, and soul-stirring performances continue to resonate through generations. This is the story of Janis Joplin, from a shy Texas girl growing up in Port Arthur, to a blues-inspired singer breaking societal norms, to an international rock icon battling addiction, fame, and personal demons. Her life illuminates the turbulence of the 1960s music scene, the Cultural Revolution, and the enduring power of artistic authenticity. Early life and musical foundations, 1943 to 1965. Janis Lyn Joplin was born on January 19, 1943, in Port Arthur, Texas, to Seth Joplin and Dorothy Bonita. Raised in a middle-class household, she developed an early fascination with music, particularly the blues. Her childhood was marked by feelings of isolation and self-doubt, stemming from her struggles with social conformity, her unconventional appearance, and her rebellious temperament. These early experiences would later fuel the emotional intensity of her performances. At Thomas Jefferson High School, Joplin's passion for music became evident. She gravitated toward rhythm and blues, absorbing the works of Big Mama Thornton, Bessie Smith, and Lead Belly. During her teenage years, she performed at local dances and parties, experimenting with vocal techniques and cultivating a style rooted in raw emotion and improvisation. After high school, Joplin briefly attended Lamar University and later the University of Texas at Austin, though she never graduated. Instead, she pursued a transient lifestyle, immersing herself in folk and blues circuits, hitchhiking across states, and performing in small clubs. Her early years were defined by itinerant gigs, honing her vocal prowess, and shaping her identity as an uncompromising artist willing to challenge societal norms. Rise to fame and the Big Brother and the Holding Company era, 1965 to 1968. In 1965, Joplin moved to San Francisco, the epicenter of the burgeoning counterculture. The city's vibrant music scene offered her the platform to translate her raw talent into professional recognition. It was here that she joined Big Brother and the Holding Company, a psychedelic rock band that would launch her legendary career. The band's breakout performance at the Monterey Pop Festival in June 1967 marked a defining moment. Joplin's electrifying rendition of Ball and Chain stunned audiences and critics alike, heralding her as a revolutionary female voice in a male-dominated rock industry. Her vocal style, powerful, raspy, and emotionally unrestrained, broke conventional barriers and captivated a generation of listeners hungry for authenticity and rebellion. In 1968, Big Brother and the Holding Company released Cheap Thrills, an album that captured the spirit of the era. Featuring tracks like Piece of My Heart and Summertime, the album achieved commercial and critical success, reaching #1 on the Billboard charts. Joplin's performance exuded both vulnerability and ferocity, solidifying her reputation as a force of musical innovation and emotional expression. Solo career, artistic evolution, and personal struggles, 1968 to 1970. Despite her meteoric rise with Big Brother, Joplin sought greater creative control and personal expression, prompting a solo career. She left the band in late 1968, signed with Columbia Records, and formed the Cosmic Blues Band, later transitioning to the Full Tilt Boogie Band. Her first solo album, I Got Dem Well, Cosmic Blues Again Mama, 1969, showcased a fusion of blues, rock, and soul, illustrating her evolving artistry. Tracks like Try, Just a Little Bit Harder, revealed both her technical skill and emotional depth. Critics praised her fearless experimentation, yet she struggled with the internal pressures and relentless demands of touring and public scrutiny. The late 1960s were also marked by Joplin's personal battles. She struggled with alcohol and heroin addiction, compounded by the stress of fame and her longing for personal connection. Despite these challenges, she continued to innovate musically, performing at landmark events, such as Woodstock in August 1969. Her performance of songs like Piece of My Heart and Summertime at Woodstock cemented her status as an emblematic figure of the era, blending raw power, sensuality, and unbridled emotion. By 1970, Joplin had begun work on Pearl, her final studio album with the Full Tilt Boogie Band. The sessions reflected her growing maturity as an artist, featuring hits like Me and Bobby McGee and Mercedes-Benz. The album would posthumously achieve immense success, showcasing her versatility, emotional intensity, and lasting impact on rock and blues. Legacy and tragic end, 1970 and beyond. On October 4, 1970, Janis Joplin was found dead in her Los Angeles apartment at the age of 27 from a heroin overdose. Her untimely death shocked the music world and confirmed her place in the legendary 27 Club, alongside contemporaries such as Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison. Tributes poured in from fellow musicians, critics, and fans, highlighting not only her talent, but the indelible mark she left on rock music and counterculture. Posthumously, Pearl became a cultural milestone. Its raw emotion, blues-infused rock, and authentic storytelling resonated with listeners worldwide. Joplin's influence extended beyond music, inspiring generations of female artists to embrace boldness, vulnerability, and creative freedom. Her life remains a cautionary tale of artistic genius, intertwined with personal turmoil. It highlights the pressures faced by young talent, the cost of societal and industry expectations, and the perilous intersection of fame, substance abuse, and creative brilliance. Lessons from Janis Joplin's life. Janis Joplin's story exemplifies the power of authenticity, artistic rebellion, and emotional honesty. She challenged gender norms, amplified marginalized voices, and transformed the musical landscape of her era. Beyond entertainment, her life urges reflection on the fragility of young talent, the consequences of addiction, and the enduring influence of fearless artistry. Janis Joplin's voice continues to inspire, provoke, and move audiences, reminding us that behind every legendary performance lies a human story, complex, vulnerable, and profoundly transformative. Watch more interesting stories. Subscribe to our channel.